I have 2 of these DIY wooden trucks, and I get them right from Dollar General. They were $1 each. And I'm going to paint the back side using Wise Owl Higgins Lake. And as you can see, I have 1 truck facing to the left and 1 truck facing to the right. Then I'm going to flip it over, and that's going to be the front side. And I'm just going to give it a little sanding as I had some of the Higgins Lake seep into the front here. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to start by painting the body of the truck using the Wise Owl Higgins Lake. And once I had good coverage, I took some Wise Owl black and I used that on both tires. I'm going to use my botanical for the tops of the carrots. And I'm painting the carrots with the mandarina. Now, all these paints can be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And I did give the carrots a couple coats. Now, the back of the truck had some wood rails, and I'm just using painter's tape, and I'm painting those rails with the Wise Owl black. And then I'm going to lift that up and move it down a little and paint the second rail. Now, in between the 2 rails, you still have some bare wood, and those are like some of the carrots peeking through. So then I'm going to take more of the Wise Owl mandarina and just fill in those spaces. And this really doesn't have to be perfect. Just paint it the best that you can. And I did that to the second truck as well. So once I had both of these painted, I took some Wise Owl chocolate and a very small art brush, and I kind of just divided the carrots using the brown paint. I took a small art brush, you can also use a chip brush, and a very small amount of the Wise Owl chocolate, and I just dry brushed it over the entire truck. Now this kind of just helps hide any imperfections. If you don't like a crisp, clean look, it gives it kind of like a rustic, and that's what I was going for. I have these pre-cut pieces of wood that I get from Hobby Lobby. One's a square, and then I have 2 rectangles. I'm going to paint them using the Higgins Lake. And then the bases that came with each truck, I'm painting both of them with the dried thyme. And then you want to make sure all your pieces dry before you use any of the glue so it cures properly. I'm going to be using some hot glue for instant hold, but the wood glue is better for a long-term hold. So that's why I'm brushing a little on the truck, putting the hot glue on the square, and then I'm basically gluing the 2 trucks together. And the square is going to be the spacer, and then I'm going to set the truck inside the stands that they both came with. And this is going to help support the center square. I'm adding this rectangle piece to the bottom to just fill in that space here. And then I'm using the 2 other rectangle pieces on the front and back of the square. And I basically just found a piece of wood that fit the bed of the truck. And I'm just going to fill that piece in with the dried thyme. So this is what we have so far. I connected the 2 trucks, and the bed of the truck is kind of like a little holder. Now I have these popsicle sticks. They are 4.5 by 1/2 inch in size. And I'm going to use the popsicle sticks down the front of the truck. And I'm securing that with the hot glue. And then I'm going to paint that with the Higgins Lake Wise Owl paint as well. So this is just enclosing the front of the truck. I gave that a good coat. I allowed it to dry, and then I dry brushed the Wise Owl chocolate on top of that. Now, I really like how this was coming out, but then the more I looked at it, I was like, wait a second, there's no front windshield. I think you can certainly leave it like that or paint a windshield, but I decided to pop those two popsicle sticks off. And then I'm going to use one of the popsicle sticks that I popped off, and I'm going to cut it and put a piece on the left and right side here. And just glue it to the frame of the truck. And then I'm just touching up some of the areas that didn't have the Higgins Lake. And now I'm going to dry brush more chocolate onto the back of the truck bed and just fill in any areas that I had missed. I had this smaller popsicle stick that I painted with the Higgins Lake, and I'm just going to glue that in the center of the windshield here. And there we go. Now we have this adorable centerpiece Easter decor made from the wooden trucks that you can get right from Dollar General for just $1. I hope you enjoyed this video. Paint products can be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you could check out other tutorials on our webpage as well. Have a great day.